Hey guys, so this is Mr.
And Mrs.
and this is the Sofa Pillow Talk, and today we have a great show, actually a part one on the podcast. And if you're on Facebook and you're following us on Facebook, which is the Sofa Real Talk, you are going to do part two Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. So, Miss C.
Topic of the century.
Yes, controversy as deep as it gets. I know you guys know. A lot of you may know Kevin Samuels.
Dang, he just gonna jump right in. Like, chill. First of all, the topic is a woman's role.
A woman's role.
And maybe I'm out of line for that. I'm sorry. I should let you lead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't talk to me like that. So yeah.
A woman's place. And we hear woman's role, woman place. We get this a lot everywhere. I mean, like, definitely now more than anything. What is a woman's place? What is a woman's role?
Like, I don't know. The definition of a woman is like, according to Webster, if I had to be what the dictionary say I am, man, this some dumb shit.
One of the definitions she came up with was a woman.
I didn't come up with it. That's what the internet said.
But I'm just saying. But you found it.
Word that right.
Okay, she found it online. It says define a wife, a woman, especially an old or uneducated one, and that was it.
That's a secondary definition.
That's the second definition?
Yeah, that was a secondary definition. Like, so what did I look up? Woman or wife? I think I looked up wife.
I think you looked up wife.
No, I think I looked up woman. It's an adult, female, or being. That's what a woman is. I looked up wife.
Yeah.
Because I was just curious.
We were trying to figure out what wife and husband meant.
You know, and what the difference is. Or if they could give us some insight on what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Are we doing this right? Are we doing this wrong? Like, what's really going on? Oh, my God. I should have put my bra. But, anywho.
That's it.
A wife is a married woman considered in relation to her spouse. The wife of a specified occupation. Archaic or Scottish definition, according to the dictionary, is a woman, especially an old and uneducated one.
So it's like just downsized you guys as being
like, so I have to be old and uneducated in order to exist as a wife. Like,
you're more controllable when you're uneducated.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, so the concept of young, dumb, and full of cum, that applies too, huh?
That's why. That's yeah.
So I'm first of all, just being black, I'm a third of a person, not even a whole person. And on top of that, not to run too fast, I have to stand behind him. And I give up my name, who I am, my identity, to take on part of his and become a part of him. So how much of a person am I really at the end of the day?
And you know what the thing about it is? To each his own. To each his own. You know, we're not professionals. This is something that we are passionate about, healthy relationships. And going off, just piggybacking off of what she just basically said, still, at the end of the day, the man has to understand, regardless of her taking his last name, that does not mean she's not an individual anymore. That means that you are a team. You are as one head, one body.
You should move as a unit.
Yes.
So that's okay. Well, we kind of, and then we say that because we'll take it directly from the Bible, which is something we were reading like. And off the record, we ain't preachers or pastors or nothing like that, but we're just gonna use the Bible as an example because a lot of context is taken out of the Bible and people use that. Adam and Eve were in the garden together. They were given to each other as a gift. Hey, baby, love you too. And they were equally punished for the same thing, because see, God didn't see them as separates. They were one entity,
Yeah,
so he equally punished both of them.
Yeah.
So it's not that Adam was in trouble for not watching her and making sure she didn't do something she was supposed to do, and Eve didn't get in trouble for doing something that going against what Adam told her to do. They got in trouble together for doing what God told them not to do together as a whole. So if I mess up, he messes up.
You want to know?
And we both get punished for a punishment that got a punishment that was fair to what the situation was. So at the end of the day, is a woman a wife and she was considered a wife?
Yes.
At the time that she was separated from him. So how is it that in current society a wife is not as equal or not as standard or doesn't receive the same thing that the man does? Or I don't know.
So the world standard means
society.
Meaning of a woman's role is to cater to his man, to her man. She should be everything to him and nothing at the same time.
So it's my job to nurture, give, take care of the kids, train, but I can't go out and work a 9 to 5 and say I'm head of the household. That would be wrong in the eyes of society. I can't do that. As a single mother, I can't say, oh, I did it by myself. Like, even if I'm just raising my kids by myself, I still need to stay in a woman's place.
Because I gotta take that ownership.
Both of us could be responsible, because if we're doing what we're doing and we know that it can lead to whatever, then we gotta be.
But society say I gotta take that responsibility.
Oh, that you have to.
Nah, if it's something you say do and it messes up, then I have to blame you. Yes. So again,
I was wrong for that.
Yes, it goes right back to.
I agree. A healthy relationship.
Okay, so someone said, I agree. A healthy relationship controls a lot of different factors.
Yes, it does. Like, it equal accountability for a man. Like, I, as a woman, regardless of if I'm beside him, behind him, on the other part of him, it doesn't matter. We as a whole got to come together and realize what we both have messed up and done wrong and work to fix that. So, society feels that a woman's place is not necessarily...
So let's play that first part. Let's go ahead and play that first part.
Okay, so we don't own rights to any of this.
We don't at all.
We ain't gunning for Kevin Samuels.
Because there's a lot of men that
agree with him. There's a lot of women that agree with him. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that do disagree with him.
And we're not doing this to bash him or whatnot. We're opening dialogue to what's wrong.
Or how we can fix it, or how we can change the mindset possibly.
Yes.
So
maybe the first couple of seconds.
Okay, so Kevin Samuels is having a conversation with a young lady on this video. It's circulating on Facebook and YouTube. You can find him anywhere. Again, no sponsor in this at all.
Live in peace with a man. Can you submit to a man? Can you play the background?
When you say play the background, what do you mean play the background?
Play your natural role.
My natural role in being a wife?
Yes, in the background.
I don't think a natural role as a wife is in the background.
Show me where in the world a natural wife is in front.
She's not in front, but she's beside.
No, she's not.
So, again, like we said at the beginning, his
concept. Okay, so he goes on the concept of a high value man. He's a personal something that characterizes or gives people personal images or whatever to make them look like they're high quality, high value. And he gives his definition of what a high value man is and this and the third. So not to say that any man is less than any other man, but a man should naturally put himself in a position to become a high value man where he can call the shots.
Okay, so now...
And this same man is supposed to look for a wife of equal stature, but that wife is going to play her role in the background.
Yes. She needs to have the same qualifications, but once he gets her, she has to basically dumb down a little bit. Now, she needs to be already there, basically.
Yeah.
So,
So if I'm the same stature as a man, I'm a single woman. He's a single man. He has his job in business. I have my job in business. Say, for instance, we do have the factor of kids to factor in because now a lot of people have kids. And watching some other videos that Mr. Samuels has done, he feels like kids are the problem or the issue, that we mess up by having kids with people we really don't want to be in long-term relationships with. Cool, get it.
Yes.
But he still feels that in that dynamic or relationship, the man should be the one in total charge of feelings and emotions.
Because he even states in his thing that really the woman is the reason why he leaves. I mean, but that's something.
It's a lot of a man can't be a man because a woman doesn't know her place. So,
you talked about high value, and the question that I wanted to ask you earlier.
Oh, you got a question? He's like springing stuff on me, huh?
All right, so me in my position.
Okay.
Not what he said. Is my value high to you?
I'm going to say I get the definition of a high value man, but that's not what I'm looking for personally as a woman. Because I can have a high value man. I can go get a high value man. I feel like the young lady on the other video was saying that I can go bag a doctor, a lawyer, anybody that I want to bag. But if he don't treat me right at the end of the day as a person, then he can kiss my backside on the way out the door. Regardless.
Okay.
So a high value man, why is it so important? Why can't you find somebody of equal stature as you and y'all grow together? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. It's like taboo. What are you talking about?
So I kind of feel like he may be making good points, but his delivery doesn't always come out great. So a woman's place is, we are naturally nurturing. There's no doubt about that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stay at home all day and take care of kids and not contribute my part to the health and wealth and life well-being of the home.
Right.
So if I can do so, regardless of your stature, your health condition, how much money you make, whether you work at a doctor's office or you the head of the doctor's office or Lowe's or Home Depot, if I'm not being treated well, regardless, I can't play my role as a woman. I can't fill in my space or place as a woman.
And you're still, like you said.
That doesn't make me any less of a woman. That doesn't make me out of place or out of line because I feel like the background you giving me is not the right one.
Yeah. Okay.
What is not, Kevin?
Are you out of your French toast line?
Don't start. Don't do that now, Kevin. I'm just giving you my opinion.
Okay, well, when a burglar comes, are you standing when somebody's coming to break in the house, are you side by side beside your husband, or are you standing behind him because he's going to have to take the bullet?
To be honest, I'm standing beside my husband.
Because you out of place.
Why am I?
Okay. I don't do well with foolishness. So if in the event that, and I get it, okay, the man is to protect and to provide whatever, but if it comes down to, okay, so his concept in this one is saying that the man is supposed to be first, the woman's supposed to follow behind and protect the kids. Cool, got to get it, good.
And I'm supposed to take the bullet.
And he's supposed to take the bullet and not me.
That's me being a protector. And you're supposed to get away with the kids.
I'm supposed to get the kids away to safety. So, okay, cool. Got it. But that doesn't still mean that my place is like behind you all the time, no. Not necessarily. So
I don't take that scenario as...
So we'll go and say say my man is incapacitated and he can't get up. Or he's not there.
Then I'm not a man.
Take the bullet for me. But so what am I supposed to do?
I'm not a man, and you shouldn't be with me.
Why aren't you a man?
But if you listen to the definitions of everything that he's saying, then that doesn't make me that high value man. I should not be with a woman if I cannot do those things.
So if you can't protect yourself first, then you have no way of protecting me. Cool. But if you're capable of protecting yourself, and I'm capable of protecting myself, and we're both capable of protecting our kids, why can't I stand beside you and hold your hand? Why do I have to stand behind you and wait for you to walk first when we can step into this together? Because two heads is better than one, right?
And what you said,
two people against one is stronger, right?
You said I can get shot and it still go
so,
through me and hit
like,
you.
Yeah, people shooting with like deadly stuff these days, like AKs. A bullet don't stop. He fall and another bullet come behind it. I'm gone. And then what?
Yeah.
So if both of us come out as one robber and both of us come out with a gun, bam. What is one person gonna do with two guns? Eventually he gonna be like, okay, I ain't gonna be able to get through this fence. First of all,
I think that analogy is still effed up because he's just looking at the fact of the position, the position that you are behind. That doesn't mean that you are. Well, for him, that means that you are behind and you should be behind. But for me,
a woman is out of line if she step in first.
So you basically a woman shouldn't be doing a man's duty. Pretty much, if a woman steps in to do a man's duty, that means she's out of place.
Correct.
So if you step in the line of fire trying to protect me, and you end up being killed, and now I have to take care of the kids. That means you're not following protocol. That is not even looked at the fact of being that the love that you have for this person. So the love that you should have is, let me go out there and be a man. Die for my family.
You stay here and be a woman.
Yeah.
And just deal with whatever's given to you.
Yes. Pretty much.
That's
off that part right there.
There's more.
Yeah. It's more crazy stuff in this.
All right.
Out of place. Tell me how. Am I too masculine for it?
Oh my God. Hell yeah. Your place. Oh my God. Hold on. Why are you out of place? I'm telling you why you're out of place. Your place is behind your husband, guarding the children.
Okay. So I'm really on here.
Okay. So when your mother, how about your grandmother?
Okay.
Hannah. Your grandmother, was she
Nice,
married?
good point.
That's another thing, Mr. Kevin.
Hold on, Hannah. Let me come right back to you.
What she said.
Was your grandmother married?
Yes, my grandmother was. But that's the thing with I'm trying to explain to you. We in two different generations right now. The generation that you're trying to explain to us, my generation is not living like that no more.
Yeah, and that's why you're dying by yourself.
Well, who says there isn't a man that's willing to take me for him to me for me? For
1 in 4 of you will marry. I mean, look, man, the stats don't work for your argument. Prior to 1965, black people were married at a rate of 80%. You go out to any cemetery, you'll see a black man.
All right, so his facts, his
much needed. But
his so-called knowledge that he has, I think is overrated and just inflated, and not saying that the stats that he's spitting out, because you can go online and you can find these same stats that he's so-called spitting out. So there's some truth to the stats. But my thing is that, and it's something that I tell people about facts in general, even what is that thing that in court that people have to, the evidence. A lot of these things are produced by men in general, and when I say man, I mean man and woman. And so facts are only facts due to us believing them to be true, pretty much.
Right. I mean, and his facts aren't wrong. They may be somewhat correct. But again, as you stated, times have changed. These aren't the 1930s, 1950s, 1940s anymore. I think our biggest thing is we see relationships that don't last long as they used to back in the day, because they feel like women of this day and age don't stay in their place. Or position of doing the background work or staying in the background, whatever, while the man goes out and works. And so the young lady's gonna hit on a point here that was like I felt like was very valid that he just kind of like brushed over and really made it into some like horrible scenario. But at the end of the day, this scenario is happening in 80 to 95% of the homes in America. Unfortunately, whether it be white, black, yellow, red, blue, brown, or it doesn't matter what color or race it is at this point. It's sad that people are not staying in relationships that they should stay in because somebody else feel like they should or shouldn't. I think times have changed so much so that you have the option now to say, hey, look, I don't have to take this. And leave if it's harming you and your well-being and you're not able to be yourself and play your role or do your part, then you should definitely leave a relationship that's not healthy for you.
Because I'm going to be honest, you have so many people nowadays honoring their fathers and mother marriage, their grandma's marriage, their great-great-grandma's marriage because they were together for 80, 90 plus years.
They know how
I want that marriage. They know what to do. They know how a relationship is. But I guarantee a lot of those marriages, you did not know the ins and outs. And the reason for that, and even some of them, they stayed in separate rooms. So you cannot tell me a relationship is a healthy relationship when a true wife and a true husband sleeps in separate rooms.
Or she's always walking behind her husband.
Yes.
Because he's supposed to be the head of the household. So, more of this.
Men buried next to a black woman. But you go after 1990 and you'll start seeing black women buried around her children.
Why is that?
Because y'all are unruly, unsubmissive, and out of line.
Well,
Go to a restaurant on Friday or Saturday night, and you'll see a mama. You may see her with her mother and a bunch of kids. There will be no husband.
Well, how many women at that point in time had degrees and education? Everybody
what does your degree mean?
Why doesn't it mean anything?
What is your degree in?
But why doesn't it mean anything?
What's the degree in?
That's not the question.
Yes, it is. No, I'll tell you. Because almost 90% of the degrees we get are in new positions. Men do the dangerous work to build society.
Oh, by God, I did want to point
that's your
that out.
place. But you don't even understand how the world works. You're running on override. Men build the world that you live in.
Oh, okay.
Who built that house or apartment you live in? Was it a crew of women? Who designed the metal work? Who put in the floor, the plumbing, the electrical system, the heating? Who put that in? The car you drive, was that built by a crew of women?
So women are not capable of doing none of those things. No.
You're not good at it. And excuse me, because when given a choice, because women are free today, right?
All right, so I did a TikTok already about this. If you're following us on TikTok, and I showed a picture where information about. So if you go back to World War II, where practically majority of men in general were sent off to the war, and there were no one to build houses.
Well, given that World War I ended horribly, the role of the American woman changed in this point. At this point, so the dynamic was the man went out and did all the work. Woman stayed at home, cooked the meals, took care of the kids, made sure they got educated, took them off, sent off to school or whatever. And she did small things like neighborhood watch to make sure the house didn't get broken into and things like that. Okay, World War I came up, then came up World War II, and
approximately 350,000 American women joined the military during World War II. They worked as nurses, drove trucks, repaired airplanes, and performed clinical work.
Some of them were killed in combat and captured as prisoners of war. So at this point, the role of a woman changed. So a woman's place went from background to now, I ain't got no husband because he done died in the war. So who gonna fight the war and protect my home now? To I gotta do what I gotta do necessary as a woman to make sure my kids have something to come home to. Women built on cars, worked in factories. Again, you see the signs with the bandana, the woman with the arm up. So the role has changed. And again, it has flipped again where men and women are now on the same, somewhat equal playing field. Now, I will say that some jobs some women probably can't perform as well as men, which is what he was saying, that a woman is out of place if she's trying to do a job as well as or as good as a man. Some men are in professions that I feel could be doing more physical labor. So it's going based on physical labor. He's not necessarily saying work of the mind, because a woman can draw up a plan for a building just as well as a man can. 95% of the time back in the day, the woman was the one who decided how the layout of the house was, and guess what the man did? He went out and built it the way the woman wanted it built. So does that make her out of place for wanting the house to be functional in a way that works for her?
We'll see another fact. Online, women labored in construction, drove trucks, cut lumber, and worked on farms. They worked in factories, building, moneticians, planes, trains, and ships. So this contradicts what he's saying, because, and I say contradict because round by this time, this is where the tide changed, and women they did not stop at this point from doing those form of jobs, because you had soldiers coming back home and they were displaced because they were lost. A lot of husbands, a lot of men were confused because injured and not being the head of house, because they were supposed to be protector. They supposed to be bringing the money home, and now here they coming home to a woman that's working and realizing that, well, dang, I can make money too. So, what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. That doesn't make her out of place or out of line. I think he's still referring to the modern woman a lot of times when he says this, but still, the modern woman can be this woman or can do a job just as well as a man can. The world has changed. A lot has changed. A woman can have a Fortune 500 company just like a man can have a Fortune 500 company. A woman in this day and age can be an architect, electrician, or engineer, all of the above. And I think what he pretty much was stating was that a lot of women don't take on the jobs of engineers, scientists, tech jobs, or construction jobs. Why don't but that was back then, not now. There are a lot of female truck drivers now. There are a lot of women doing the same jobs that men are doing, and it's nothing wrong with that. But he still feels like that's out of place for a woman to be doing a job that a man should originally be doing, because she should be at home doing whatever, or in the background playing her role.
Which goes to the definition of the husband that we found useful. Basically, he's a resource, economically. What's that?
Something that should be conserved. So he should be conserving and using his energy to provide resources. So technically, at the end of the day, he's considered a tool.
We could take that back all the way to Adam, because it's basically what Adam was.
Yeah, his job was to give, work the land and what was supposed to be there. So he was playing his role as a man, doing his part, doing what God told him to do. What exactly was the woman's role?
They didn't really explain that in the Bible.
It doesn't really give any insight.
Outside after the punishment was
they were equally punished for what they did wrong. So their role was an equal role. Like, both of y'all were responsible and should be held accountable for what needs to be done.
So even if Adam hadn't eaten that apple, he still would have or should have been punished, because she was still his responsibility at the end of the day. They were husband and wife. They were one. So one gets punished, the other does. Mm-hmm. So we can fast forward to the other part, and we're going to end off with that. So, because that's something definitely you find that.
And you're educated, right? And why don't we see 51% of construction workers as women? Why don't we see 51% of the engineers as women? Why don't we see 51% of the plumbers, electricians, military, train operators, heavy, dangerous work as women? Because when given an opportunity, women segregate themselves into more comfortable positions. Men do the dangerous work to build society.
Okay.
That's your place.
That's my place. I should follow my husband. I should follow the man. That's his place. We're not equal. He's stronger than me.
He is. No, he is. Go look at Bear Grylls Island season 2. And they dropped a bunch of men? Or should they stay in their mother flipping place?
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
I don't want my kids to see me.
That's not what I asked.
The same thing.
That's not what I want. No. We don't do that. See, you talking about.
We're trying to find a part right
your
quick.
grandmother and mother. Ain't your business. Stay in the child's. Let the shit down and finish. That is not. It's not your place. Because you tell the worst part of everything. But tell me, where do you ever
do everything in their power to make sure the home is kept well? They still went out and did bullshit over their wives.
Excuse me. Hold on. Let me stop you right here. First off, stay in your damn place as a child. That ain't your motherfucking business.
But I'm grown now.
But it ain't your business. Excuse me. Stop. Breathe. No, I will shut this shit down. I will shut this shit down and finish. That is not. It's not your place. You tell the worst part of everything. But tell me, where do you ever? I never hear you women give black men credit. It's always talking about the wedding takes hell and the color purple bullshit. That's the bullshit right there. Listen, let me tell you something. I go to therapy, and me and my parents and my grandparents, the shit they go through might not have been my business, but I inhaled it. I saw it. That's your problem. Okay. And how old are you? It can be my fault. How old are you? I'm 30. Okay. Well, due respect, man. The world doesn't owe you and me understanding. Because hold on. Because there are people in this world. I will shut this shit down. I won't. No. We don't do that. See, you talking about the traumas that your grandmother and mother. Ain't your business. Stay in the child's place. I'm not a child anymore necessarily. That's the point. You're trying to. Okay. Do you have any children? I do. So your children need to come get in a relationship with you and no man, or should they stay in their mother flipping place? That's what I thought. I don't want my kids to see me. That's not what I asked. The same thing. That's not what I asked. But this is what I'm asking. That's not what I asked. Can I talk? Can I say something? But you didn't answer the question. Your children need to stay. Your children need to stay in the children's place. Somebody said I was 48. Okay. Stop. Your children need to stay in the children's place because between you and that man is something that they don't know, they don't understand because they're too young. They shouldn't be trying to judge it through childlike eyes. How old is your oldest? 15. How old is your youngest? 10. 10 years ago, your oldest still believed in Santa Claus. Children need to stay in children's places. One of the problems we have in the black community is black women put their children in grown places where they should not be. They let their children see and experience stuff they should not experience because the kids do what they naturally do. Mm-hmm. That's a problem of parenting. Your mama shouldn't have exposed you to it. So okay, you're right. I can admit that. You are right.
I'm not going to admit to that. I don't think it's right. Because, so, in so many ways, he just kind of told her that it was okay that her granddaddy messed around on her grandma and that it was okay for her mom to be in a relationship with somebody who's not treating them correctly. It's okay for you to not say anything and brush it under the rug like it didn't matter, that you saw your granddaddy be the protector, the provider, and also the cheater, that was okay for your grandma to stay in a relationship with somebody who didn't take her feelings into account, didn't take her role into account, that didn't care about her feelings and emotions, and that as a child she shouldn't have been exposed to such, and it wasn't her time or place to be in an adult's business because she didn't know the situation going on at the time. That's where this generational curse bullshit comes in. We are sweeping shit under the rug for people when we shouldn't have to. Like, it's not okay for him to go out and be like, I'm the man, I pay all the bills, I do this, that, and the other, and then I just sit in the background, okay, baby, whatever you say, I'm just going to do my part over here. No, that is not right. Because, see, I have 2 little girls who are going to go out in the world, and they're going to do what I say, they're going to do what I do and not what I say. They're going to end up, they observe a lot. They're going to do what they see being done versus what you say being done. I can say the sky is blue, but if she look out there and see that the sky is purple, guess what she going to believe? The sky is purple. I just feel like it's just it's a double standard.
So we can hide all day long. So I can beat on her and they not see it, but they can sense it and they can possibly hear it. Or
know that, oh, my mom's not being treated right, or my mom is sad. Because of whatever's going on between her and
So-
Mr. Johnny, and it'd be okay. Oh, well, she stayed though, so I guess
Yeah,
if that happens to me,
and
then
so
I
that's
should say-
basically how he's saying that. All right, that's none of your business. And it's not only women per se that how he explained women are the only one that are bringing kids, because men are doing it too when they leave. When you sit in here, you go in knowing that your intentions with this woman is not to make her a wife or at least a long-term committed relationship, and you're having kids with her or you have kids with her and you leave, or if you don't have kids and she has kids and you go in and you're just using her for sex and you just leave, you're still showing some form of generational curse on a male's behalf as well. And
that a woman is supposed to just take it and shut the hell up and it'd be okay.
And that's pretty much what he's saying. And
or if that ain't what he's saying, that's how it comes off.
That's how it comes off. And
you
that's
know,
pretty much
because he was telling
he's
her,
saying.
oh, well, your mama shouldn't have exposed you to that as a child. You should have stayed in the child's place and minded your own business. And that shouldn't be affecting you now. And that shouldn't be a part of your problem. But it sounds like she has a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old, and
And what I'm proud about
is
her,
not really in a committed relationship, or she's not even married at the time, because she got to deal with the issue of the baggage of how a relationship is supposed to go, because she hasn't had a good example.
But what I'm proud of her is saying that I'm going to counseling, and he just like went over that,
and so the world don't owe you.
Yeah, the world don't. That's your,
whatever.
You suffer that. You should have stayed in your place, basically.
But everybody's question is, at the end of the day, why can't I find a good man? Why can't I find a good woman? So, am I playing my part? Am I doing my role to find a good man? Or I got all the things that check off on the list to find a good man or to be a good man or woman, but I can't find this good man or woman and make it work for me in my relationship. Am I really fulfilling my role or my place as a woman or a man at the end of the day? No, a woman's place is supposed to be nurturing. You know, I feel like a woman should be beside her man, because when you get married, y'all ain't standing one behind the other. Y'all standing side by side, you know, and you're becoming one flesh, one responsibility, one set of accountability rules. Whatever rules apply for him, apply for me also in that covenant, because we're making the same agreement at the end of the day. So a woman's place is beside the man, not behind the man, and not really just taking shit off the man either, and vice versa, because he's also had lives where he's told men, if she's hostile towards you, call the police or leave. So if it's okay for a man to call the police or leave, why is it not okay for me to call the police or leave and not worry about what happened to my mama, and if I see it happening to myself, I can't leave? I'm just supposed to sit here and take that shit? No.
And so, adding to that is like on a good note, when I'm out there by myself, I'm not only representing myself, I'm representing her. If you know me or you see me, majority of the time about her is coming out of my mouth, because this is a part of me, and that's how I see it, and that's how it's supposed to be. Now, how that part works for any individual, you know, that is your relationship or whatnot, but still, at some form of fashion, this is an equal part. If you consider yourself married, you are one that's equal. That don't mean somebody's behind somebody, somebody's in front of somebody. And all the relationships out there, all these quote unquote power couples, true power couples that you can find, she's not in the background.
They work together.
They're working together. They are a team. And we can tell it is all the way back to Adam and Eve. If they were a team, we do not know half of the stuff that went on back then, only thing we know is supposedly an apple was bitten and brought back to the husband, and the husband knew that was the apple, and his butt shouldn't have bit the apple in the first place. And so now that he bit the apple, and he blaming on her because she brought it to him. What kind of head of household is that?
And she still, blamed it on the snake because the snake.
Yeah, so everybody pointing fingers instead of just saying, you know what, I messed up. And I'm gonna be honest. You know what? She could have bit the apple, brought it to the husband, and said, "Hey, baby, I done bugged up. I done bit this apple. I don't know what to do. We need to call God so we can rectify the situation." What does he do? Well, let me go ahead and bite the apple with you. I'm pretty sure she ain't stuffed it down his mouth. So, again, man, we can't just constantly, it's the woman's fault that we're in this turmoil in the first place. So we want to sit up here and talk the big and bad and say we're the head of the household. So let's take ownership. And that's something that I push a lot about what a lot of men, especially in the black community, doing in the household. A lot of us are walking away. A lot of us are going in and just having that sexual arrangement, getting her pregnant and going on about our business.
Oh, not even in the intention of getting her pregnant, but irresponsibly.
Irresponsibly having,
her pregnant,
you know darn well majority of y'all are in here raw dogging. Knowing that what causes pregnancy. Then when she get pregnant,
you think
it ain't mine.
Oh, I'm out, so am I royal oats.
Yeah.
And she just gonna take this D and leave me alone and let me do what I do as a man and play her part, and she gonna hush and be quiet and sit in the background and do what I tell her to do.
Bunch of crap. So changing the narrative. A woman's place is beside a great woman's place is beside a great man, and you are a great man when you see your woman as an equal, and you and her will build one heck of a foundation for your family and abundantly become blessed. So, any other things you would like to end with, baby?
No. A woman's place is beside her man. They are to make equal decisions and compromises together. They are to work together as a team and not just come forward with a united front, but they're to work together as a team, as one unit, as the Bible and common law both say, because I was made from his rib, from his side, to stand by his side. And so we will, if we both mess up together, we both take that punishment together. That's my feeling or my take from it. My place is beside my man, doing my part, nurturing, and if I have to step forward and take the front lead until he can recuperate, recover, or come back from whatever, I'll do that. But that doesn't make me head a household over the all in charge or out of line or out of place, because I decide to make a decision that we feel like was best for what works for our relationship.
All right, guys. So, ending the podcast, we had a lovely night. It was a little bit longer than we normally have it, which we will probably see about.
So, part 2 may be more instructional, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna see about having some guests on and women and men, and just to have a little. A deep conversation, a deep dive into how everyone feels. Safe place. So if you're on Facebook, by all means, look up The Sofa Real Talk, and you will find the page. Like it, click on the notification so that you can see it. I am going to try my best to quickly revamp the YouTube channel so that you guys can see some of the stuff that we're doing as well. But, guys, on the podcast, you can follow us on Mr. and Mrs. Take Over the World on TikTok and on Instagram.
Until the next episode. Bye.
Bye.